Okay, for this recap, I'm going to stick to re-demonstrating some of what we talked about earlier. Uh, with the stuff to work on for speed, I can't think of anything else to add that we haven't already discussed. So if you would like me to demonstrate those at different speeds, let me know. I'll definitely do it. So what I'll start with is putting on that A minor backing track that I used earlier. But in terms of like finding backing tracks, so just within the key of A minor or the key of C itself, you can look up a C major backing track. Problem with that is it's gonna sound happy. But maybe that's not a problem. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe you feel like playing over something that sounds happy. Well, there you go. But any of the modes within that key will work because you can use any of the same scales, just up and down. So you can look up A minor backing tracks or A Aeolian backing tracks. E Phrygian, D Dorian, F Lydian, G Mixolydian, B Locrian. Different modes are going to sound sound different, but you might not have a connection with each of them. So when you're looking for backing tracks to play over, some of them you're gonna vibe with really well, and others you'll be like, ugh. Even if it's just another A minor backing track, even though the chords make sense and you should be able to play over it just fine, there could be something about the way the track was made that it's just like, ugh, So you won't like everything that you play on top of. So it's important that you find something that works really well. So I'll send a link to what I'll play over here because I do feel it's a very easy one to play on top of. So let's get this going. Okay. So just like when playing pentatonics, you do the same thing with your diatonic scales. You just start hitting notes. And I recommend going fairly slow at first. And I'm just using that 3 notes per string A minor scale right now. So even just to refresh the scales, you can go up and down first. When I'm soloing, I'm kind of looking for notes to kind of hang out on. So like when doing any solos, it's kind of like you want to build tension and then release that tension. We just talked about using the arpeggios that you've been learning. So, yeah, starting with an A minor arpeggio would be a very easy thing to start with. And I mentioned I like to use this idea and then play some notes around the arpeggio. And you can also take the chord shapes themselves, like that A minor chord here, and kind of arpeggiate that instead. So instead of doing the arpeggio like this, or like this, you can do it this way. And again, playing the notes that are around it. You don't have to just stay on the one arpeggio, just and then any of the suspended chords that we worked with work just as well. Even some of the weird ones will work okay. So try experiment with that. Like maybe do like a normal one, like the A minor. Like that there was the E sus flat 2. That was the B sus flat 2 flat 5. That was terrible. And then we start to get more comfortable. We'll start throwing in hammer-ons, pull-offs, whatnot. Play one note quickly. Like, it doesn't have to be constant for that fast stuff. Do something like that. So, yeah, the more that you do it, the easier it gets. And then the other thing was, I had that drum track that was like 190 beats per minute, because that's about how fast you were doing your downstrokes. So using the scale shapes or any of the chords and whatnot, just start down picking like crazy. Try and keep down picking as much as you can. Take little breaks when your arm gets tired, but just it's a good way to practice improv and also practice your down picking speed. So you just practice going up and down scale shapes. Down picking the whole time. Throw in some palm mute patterns. Keeping that downstroke thing going. My arm's getting tired now. Alright, so just some ideas there that you can try, add into your improv work, and definitely a fun way of practice. I mean, it is practice, but at the same time, it's just also like messing around, which is one of the fun things about learning guitar, yeah. Alright, so, and I'll give a link to that as well, the drums there. Hopefully that picked up okay. So if any questions come up, let me know. And I'll see you again next week and work on those 7th chords.